Hello, it's rainbow time, and some of my crystals are hanging outside, and it's very windy, and so that's why you see the effect of the moving uh, prisms of light. Okay, even though I don't look at my best right now, when I played with the effects, they all chased the rainbows away or washed them out too much, and we couldn't have that, so it is what it is, and here we go. I have a journal for you that's back to summer, to the end of August, August 25th, 2010, the first journal of the day, and the Mayan day was 13 Monkey, and it's called the Rejection of Now syndrome or Ray of Attention. And I did this one just before I did the one on A New Look at Creation by ETs, if that 13 Monkeys sounds familiar to you. All right, we've had our first few mornings of reasonably cool weather now, lower 70s, upper 60s anyway, not too bad. 95 degrees at 9 p.m. isn't so very pleasant, at least if you're not used to that. One can get used to about anything, of course. Well, with a younger body it's best. Today is the close of the trecina of storm. Day 13 is the end of any trecina or tricana. Rather than look ahead to see what the next one will bring, what its day one sun sign is, let's stay with this. How like the mind, how like the human way to skip over and ignore what is now for what is next. Let's catch that tendency in the self and overrule it. That's mind. Today is the culmination of all that has been built and building for the last 12 days. Day of ascension, of raising it up into light, into the next level with us. So let's be here, be with it in this now, where we can take the best advantage and be tuned into that. In the now that is right in front of our nose, that is where the greatest blessing lies, often untouched, unnoticed, and unheeded. Let's change that around. Mind, with its ever outward focus on things, let's turn it in. Find the self in the heart instead, in the here and the now. It is amazing to see, but more and more of us are coming into the awareness that our programming has taught us to be anywhere but here and now. We are seeing how most people spend their entire lives rejecting what is, looking, ever seeking for something better. Even just something else doesn't have to be better for some folks, just so it's not this. Rejection of the now syndrome, let's call it that. On the one hand, it's a sad thing, for the blessings are all being rejected that way. Yet, on the other hand, it's a very glad thing. Know why? Because it's so easy to fix. Just be in the heart, and it's done. Every time you find yourself wandering in mind, just focus within, center back down. Now, how easy is that? It's rather ridiculous, actually. So, there's no big terrible harm that's been done here. We're not crippled or anything, just focused all wrong. And since we own our own focus, it's easily fixed. Do you see? Your ray of attention is powerful stuff. We've not been taught this, but we're all finding it now. It's how we create. Place our attention on things. That feeds them. It's as simple as pie, really. There's nothing complex about that. Now, what flows over the ray of attention, that's a different thing. Still, it doesn't matter so much. There will be those called to study this. Be careful about that, though. The call may be real or just a plot of the mind to keep control of things, to point your energy out there, anywhere, just so it's not within heart. Mind isn't so comfortable with heart focus, not yet. We get back here, or we can, to the whole who am I thing. Do you see this? Remember, dear one, you are not that body that you're wearing there. No identity in that. Sorry, but that's just bug food in the future or food for the crematory fire. That's certainly not the identity, the divinity that you are. So maybe you instead are that which flows on the ray of attention. Had you considered that? How deeply have you taken this, your identity search? How far have you backed away from what appears the surface of life? Do you know who you really are? Do you really? Maybe you haven't a clue, you say. Well, I assure you, you do. It's just a matter of casting the programming off. Step out from under it. It has no power over you anymore. The energies, vibrations, and frequencies all around us are rising. They're giving support for our finding this out, peeking our head up above the clouds. They're helping destroy the programming, helping it crumble away. Take advantage, I say. Break out of your shell, your cocoon you've been hiding in. Step out into the light that you are. We have stupid ideas we've been harboring, sometimes for whole decades, all of life. Ideas that say, oh, it's hard to awaken, that our programming really sticks to the self. Well, excavate up and then look at this nonsense. That's all this is. It won't stand the gaze of your vision. It'll just vanish away. But the secret is you've got to look at it from heart, with heart vision. You'll see through it instantly, and zap, it's gone. Nothing there. It was just nothing all along. Did you know that? It was nothing at all, just an illusory boogeyman, but you propped it up with your light. How did you do that? You fed it, nurtured it along with your belief. That means the ray of attention has watered it, kept it going, kept it problematically alive. She says. It's so good to see these things. They help us take back our sovereignty as we realize how we've carved out our life. No one else did these things to us without our consent. It required that, but we were asleep to what was happening. Somehow we were drugged, we were hypnotized into thinking that the unreal was so real and so big, so unimaginable, so huge. Well, then let's celebrate. Throw those old glasses away. We have new vision now, heart glasses instead that see true. Heart power we settle into. I keep saying everything is different in here, but I wonder if you hear this at all. As long as you hold on to mind, to belief, to your thoughts, attitudes, and prejudices, the way you think things work or they should, then you really can't see what I'm saying. It won't be until you really pursue this heart thing, this song I keep singing to you, that you'll really begin to see just how vast these differences are. They're really quite huge. Things that looked so insurmountable, they're seen as nothing at all, and they vanish in smoke when they're seen. It's a shock. Think little old man in the booth back behind things, the Wizard of Oz. Mind has many of these shocks yet to go through before it's convinced that it really knew nothing at all. That's a big one to swallow for mind. It takes some work, a bit of time. Not always, but some wake up instantly. Not many, but that's not necessary. Myself, I can't even point to a moment, a time, a particular experience where I could say, there, that was it. That's when I awoke. I'm not even claiming that I'm totally awake. I'm not. So few people are. And what is totally awake? Isn't there infinity and eternity here? Still, it's not like we're worthless until total awakening, We have our uses still as the process unfolds. It's not like we have to earn this, folks. It's not like that at all. We already are this in some way. We have to open to that. It just is. We are that. Do you feel how this resonates with truth? I am that I am echoes this, the statement of pure being. It's not becoming. It simply is what it is. So are you. See that you are, that you have an already perfect self hidden away in there. Maybe see it that way. This perfected one, I call that higher self. It already exists right today. It doesn't have to be put together, sought and found, earned and worked for. It just is. Right away. That's when you can find it, can have it as self. You have it already. It's in the process of cleaning you up. That's why this crap comes up for you. It's covering the brightness. It's got to be looked at or dealt with somehow. You can't keep ignoring stuff. Better to face it, be with it, and learn what is there for you now. When darkness is seen through, it simply vanishes away. You're in your seat of power and authority if you centered in heart. Your whole guidance system is there or is accessed through there. I'd be clearer on these things if I could, but understanding is not full with me, so I give what I can. Here's another big point, and it's a huge one. Understanding is not necessary at all. Until you know that, you'll still be tethered to mind, sure enough. Got to let go of that. Be willing to simply not know. There's no great virtue in knowing, my friend. You just know about. You don't really know. That takes being instead. Do you see? Knowing approaches things from the outside. Being is within. Being becomes them, while knowing just picks and pecks at the outside, the surface of whatever it is. Knowing is mind. Being is heart. Yes, they can work together, but not till your mind, it's been trained. We come at this with full programming intact. We must break through that to find the glory that's hidden within. That's why it's best not to trust mind at all for some time. It's wily, you know, even wily beyond your ken. Your knowing doesn't encompass the slickness of mind. Better to simply walk off that playground, that battlefield actually. Just refuse to engage with the mind for a period of time. You can do this. Training time for the mind. It will rebel and will fight. It will do all it can to retain power and might over you, over life, like it had before. That dies hard. So, during this time, just leave mind aside. Refuse to engage with it. It's got to learn how it's not so necessary as all that it thought. And so do you. It's really not needed at all like it thought it was. That's just an idea, a concept, like all of the rest. Do you begin to see? Be in heart. That's your sure defense against the trickster that mind is for you right now. Just know, however, that it won't be this way always. Mind is truly not the enemy. I've said that often enough, but people don't hear it sometimes. And that's generally because mind is in control and it's fighting this stuff. Fights for its own life. Mind thinks it is being attacked. Do you see? Mind is playing with you to maintain control on your life, your attention, your state. So, it's a free will thing in the end. A simple exercise of free will is what is called for, but it's called for again and again. This is a process. The unweaving of the many threads of the mind woven into the life. There is a you, however, the higher or inner self, that is above and beyond this right now. It doesn't have to grow and develop or any of that. It just is. It just knows. It is you. This is the one to center within, there, in the heart. Take your cares, your concerns to that place. It's a sacred one, and you'll be guided from there. But you can't take the mind in. Takes some getting used to, I know. It's very odd at the start to even think of you being somewhere that mind's not. I know, it is strange. Well, so what? Big deal, I say. Just get over that. Let it go. Have some fun with this. It's that simple if you will just let it be. It is mind, ever mind, that complicates things. And that's not real. So make your choice. See yourself as much greater than mind there can even comprehend. It never will. Mind cannot know the greatness of you. Can't be done. That's trying to solder that circuit again with the hammer. Put it down. The heat that will close all the circuits for you is in the heart. Fire is inside, I assure you it is. It will burn off all dross by itself. Just take regular baths there. Fire bathing. There's a new one for us. Enter in. You are fire yourself, you know. You are spirit. You are light. That is home to you. You can't be hurt. See you there. 13 is the end of any tricina or tricana. Rather than look ahead to see what the next one will bring, what its day one sun sign is, let's stay with this. How like the mind, how like the human way to skip over and ignore what is now for what is next. let's catch that tendency in the self and overrule it. That's mind. Today, hello, it's rainbow time, and some of my crystals are hanging outside, and it's very windy. And so that's why you see the effect of the moving prisms of light. Okay, even though I don't look at my best right now, when I played with the effects, they all chased the rainbows away or washed them out too much, and we couldn't have that. So it is what it is, and here we go. I have a journal for you that's back to summer, to the end of August, August 25th, 2010, the first journal of the day, and the Mayan day was 13 Monkey, and it's called the Rejection of Now syndrome or ray of attention. And I did this one just before I did the one on A New Look at Creation by ETs. It is the culmination of all that has been built and building for the last 12 days. Day of ascension, of raising it up into light, into the next level with us. So let's be here, be with it in this now, where we can take the best advantage and be tuned into that. In the now that is right in front of our nose, that is where the greatest blessing lies. Often untouched, that 13 monkeys sounds familiar to you. All right. We've had our first few mornings of reasonably cool weather now. Lower 70s, upper 60s anyway. Not too bad. 95 degrees at 9 p.m. isn't so very pleasant, at least if you're not used to that. One can get used to about anything, of course. Well, with a younger body it's best. Today is the close of the trecina of storm. Day